But the reason I am what I am at 98, I am 98. This past June 1, it was my 98th birthday. The reasons I'm 98. And that was Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Well, anyway, it was
coming up.
The reason I'm that age is that I've been continuously working and involved, and I had a wife that we lived very healthily, no sugar in our diet for 30 years, all wholesome food, and I lost her 4 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
After 74 years of marriage.
Wow.
I was 21 when I married her.
In Philadelphia?
What?
In Philadelphia? Where'd you meet?
Pardon?
Where did you meet?
Oh, she cooked.
No. Where did you meet each other?
I'm from New York City.
Okay.
And are you familiar with New York?
Oh, yes.
On Fordham Road, there's a big library.
All right.
And in the library, they have, on the weekend, they have a zone room for study, and about 20 or 30 people can be in that room. So I was in there working, and she was in a corner. I was at the end. She was at the end of the table. I was at the corner of the table. So I started working. I started talking to her. So the librarian came over and said, "Please leave. This is a work area, not a talking area." Oh, she was so unhappy at being kicked out of the library. But then I went to a dance about 2 or 3 weeks later, and there she is dancing with another person, you know. So I start dancing with her. And then when the summer came, I was working as a counselor in a boys' camp. She was working as a counselor in a girls' camp that was about 5 miles apart. And every weekend, on Sunday, I would hitchhike, get a car to take me down the main road a couple of miles to her. So that's where it was that summer that we became sort of engaged.
Gotcha.
And then when I got back, I got this. I just graduated from Brooklyn College, and I got this offer for a job in Washington as a junior professional assistant. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It was nothing but a clerk. So I said to her, "Mildred, I'm going to Washington. You want to come with me?" She said, "Yes." So we got married. We were poor as church mice. I went up to that town right north of New York. And I got married by the clerk in the court for $2. Then I got onto the subway and I took her to Far Rockaway. We took a room and we went out and we were bathing, and I got sunburned. I'm very fair skinned. So she spent the weekend putting ungaching on me, and the people must have thought we were sexually horrible people. But she was just putting ungaching on me. I was so burned up. And then the war started, and and then I had a job in Washington, you see, and I was working for the Hercules power plant as a government employee. And you remember when the war started, the Germans were just walking through Europe, conquering every city, every town, all the countries. So I said to him, "Honey, this war is going bad, and if we lose to the Germans, there's going to be another Holocaust. I got to join and help win the war." So she said, "Okay." And at that time I was working for the Hercules power plant, going over, authorizing their explosives that they were making. But anyway, so she said, okay. So I went off to war. She went back to college. She was just a junior when I married her. She, while I was gone for about 2.5 years, she finished college, got a degree in social worker, and was working as a social worker in Hartford, Connecticut. I joined the Army, Air Force. I wanted to be a pilot. But because I could add 2 and 2 to 4, they made me a navigator because I was a college graduate. In our group of about 30 people trying to enter the Army in the Air Corps, all the college people were put into we became we had to authorize factory that everything was going right and all that sort of thing. Anyway, so I fought the war as a navigator. I flew 26 missions over Japan.
Oh, wow.
I had to abandon my plane on the 18th mission at 3 o'clock in the morning. And the next morning, we were rescued. And the fascinating thing is, the person that rescued me was, we were losing so many planes to the ocean that the Navy trained an Army air-sea rescue. And this was their first mission, this Army air-sea rescue. When they picked me up, I was in my little raft when I bailed out, and we had this kind of training for bailout. One of these officers from the paratroopers came. All he said was, "You don't leave your parachute until your feet are wet." He said, "We lose many men who think they're 10 feet from the water and they're 150 feet from the water, and they let go and they die hitting the water." So that was his main message: don't leave your chute until. And I bailed out, and I think I passed out for about 30 seconds, and all I wanted was pull the parachute. Parachute is this big, and I had my hand out here with the little piece of pull the parachute. I looked up and I could see my pilot and co-pilot and my plane. Boom! We had a runaway prop. And when the gunman said, "Captain, she's throwing sparks," he just said, "Bail out." And I had a little pile of books and all of that. But when I had the headphones, I was in the back because it was outside my window. I didn't want it to fly into and kill me. So I went to the back, and I said, "Bail out," and I was by myself. So, and I didn't even pick up my books. I just immediately ran to the window, to the door, and tried to fall out. You can't do that. The wind is like a wall. So I ran through it, and all I could think when I went out, again, pull the ripcord, pull the ripcord. As I said, it's a piece of thread this big, and I was pulling the ripcord with it. When I came to, I must have passed out for about 20 seconds or 30 seconds in the fall. And I looked up, I saw the pilot and co-pilot, and right behind them, boom, she exploded. We had 7,000 gallons in the wings, and when that engine was throwing sparks, it just, I got out a minute before. They got out 10, 20 seconds before. That's how close they came to getting killed. And in the morning, I got picked up by this air-sea rescue, Army air-sea rescue. We had so many planes lost to the ocean, flying from Saipan to Japan. That's 18 hours of, no, not 18 hours, about 14, 15 hours of fly. We'd get up at midnight to 8 in the morning. We'd rendezvous. So that's 8 hours. So it's between 8 and 10 hours. And